Award-winning authors Isabella Maldonado and Jeffrey Deaver have written a whole bunch of books on their own, and they're now out with a follow-up to their first murder mystery collaboration. That first book was titled Fatal Intrusion. This new book is titled The Grave Artist, and it continues with the combined crime-solving efforts of a federal agent and a private security expert. We welcome Isabella Maldonado to Arizona Horizon, and a welcome as well to Jeffrey Deaver, who also joins us. Good to have you both here. Thanks for joining us.
Our pleasure.
All right, Isabella, you're the local author here. We're going to start with you.
Okay.
When did you two decide, hey, let's get together and write a mystery novel?
Well, it started as a joke. We were at a conference in Chicago together, and we were in the green room, and we just started joking about, wouldn't it be funny to write a novel together? And then we bumped into each other again in New York at another crime author or also attendee conference, and we kind of talked about it again, a little bit less jokey, and then finally we bumped into each other again at the Poisoned Pen in Scottsdale.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And after that, we sat down together and we got serious, and we were like, maybe this needs to happen.
Well, how does it happen, Jeff? How do two writers write a book?
Well, it's very fortunate that Isabella and I have a very similar writing style. We write what we call thrillers. Now, there's a distinction there. Crime writing is divided into two categories. Thrillers, which ask the question, what's going to happen? Will we stop the terrorist? Will we find the serial killer? As opposed to a murder mystery, which asks what happened, a la Agatha Christie or Murder, She Wrote, that sort of thing. They're both fun. But we write this, pedal to the floor kind of fast-paced thing. We both write that. We write from, as a technical term, third-person point of view. We jump into other characters' heads, and we said, let's try it.
Was it easier this time than last time?
In the sense that we kind of had an idea of how we were going to do it. In that sense, yes, but every book is a challenge.
Yeah,
right?
Did you find the same thing? I mean, you've written so many books. I don't want to say formulaic, but after the first one, did you say, there's steps here that I recognize?
Well, Ted, I'll say there's nothing wrong with the word formulaic. I mean, I fly a lot on book tours. That airplane was built by a formula. We like that.
Yeah.
It works. We don't want somebody to say, let's put an engine here, let's put the instruments here. So we had the formula, and we stick true to that form, that template, and we just stay with that.
Well, that raises the question, what makes a good mystery, crime, whodunit, whatever, that whole genre, what makes a good novel?
Well, I'll tell you one thing that does, and we made sure we did it here, is even though, like Jeff was saying, there's this sort of template or whatever, but it's the originality that you bring to that. And in this case, we really wanted to be really original, and we did. And people are telling us, they're like, we've never seen anything like this before. This is fresh.
Yeah, please.
The other thing we have to say is that we do this not for ourselves. I mean, we get to sit down in front of our desk, our dog's at our feet, and we make stuff up. Does life get any better than that? But we do this for readers, and every minute of our writing process is this going to be good for readers? And I'll give you a fast example. No children are hurt in the books. There's no explicit gore. There's a lot of suspense.
Yes.
But no animals. Oh, we never hurt an animal.
Well, but is there someone on your shoulder saying, that's not going to work, or, Joe in Glendale may not get that?
The spirit of the reader. That's who's looking over our shoulders every minute.
Yeah. Do you find the same thing?
Yes, we do. And also, the cool thing is about, that we're both experienced, we edit each other ruthlessly, and we trust each other. And so that way, if one of us is like, I don't know about this, then we look at that very seriously.
I noticed one of the blurbs on this latest one says it is, quote, intentionally misguiding until the final reveal. Is that what makes a good mystery crime solve?
We have 3 surprise endings in this book, as we did with Fatal Intrusion. And you know why? Readers are so smart. It's so irritating. We come up with what we think is a great twist. They're going to figure that out. Let's put another one in.
Did you know what the ending was going to be when you started?
Yeah, in the sense that we do outline, so we know kind of where it's going. Now, the outline is not chiseled in stone.
Right.
We do deviate and we reconfigure, but we do have an idea. We know where we're going.
Because I was going to say, I interview authors all the time, and I always ask, did the characters go off and do something you weren't planning on them doing?
Well, they can offer suggestions.
They tried.
They try.
They try that a few times in my books, and they're the next victims. Out they go.
When you're writing, and you're there with the dog at your feet and a little person on your shoulder, do you go, "Oh, this is good stuff"?
Well, you know, when that happens, I'm a little suspect because you see, I should be like the airline pilot, and she sits down and she's very unemotional. She looks at the instruments, big storm ahead. Oh, I don't care. I see a big storm. Beautiful sunset. I don't care. I'm all about getting the passengers where they're going. That's what I concentrate on, and we've decided that between us, we have that same attitude.
You agree? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're writing, do you ever give yourself the creeps? I mean, you can give yourself
yeah.
the creeps on some of this
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, there's all kinds of different emotions can come out, and you know, sometimes like my throat will tighten, or sometimes I get, I'm like, ooh, that is really creepy, you know. But that's good because I'm like, that's hopefully what the reader is experiencing.
Yeah, is that the same stuff? I mean,
And I teach courses in writing. I tell my students, if they look at something and they think, well, this is wrong, it's nonsense, I say, don't be mad at yourself. You just identified a problem. Get in there and fix it. You're a craftsperson. You know, roll up your sleeves and fix it.
That's a lot of people think that, you know, you can't write a great American novel until the muse comes crushing you and you can't do anything but write. But this is work. You have to sit at your desk and work.
Absolutely. You can't wait. You can't be precious. You can't wait for the muse. And for us, I mean, Jeff and I are both working writers. We are under contract. Multiple contracts all the time. You can't just be like, breach of contract, I don't feel it.
Yeah.
No, you get to work.
I think Jack London said, the great author said, you can't wait for the muse, you have to go after it with a club.
Yes.
I love that.
He did say that.
That's a great line. Jeffrey, and as far as you're concerned, former journalist, folk singer.
I know.
And,
Out of deference to you and your viewers, I'm not going to sing.
You're not going to sing? Okay. And an attorney.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And yet being a writer won out, huh?
Well, I'll tell you, like Isabella, another coincidence between us, we wanted to write from a very young age. But, you know, Mozart was composing when he was 4. Jackson Pollock was pouring paint on his mother's, laundry room floor when he was 3 or whatever. Writers have to live a while. They have to experience things. So I did journalism, folk singing, and then an attorney for a while. And then in my 30s, I knew now it's time.
Yeah.
And then I've been doing this full-time now for 45 years.
And you were involved, we talked before, you've been involved in law enforcement.
Right.
And when did you realize it was time?
Well, like Jeff, I knew I wanted to write, but I probably at the same time, maybe in my late 30s, early 40s, I knew it was time. But at that point, I was full tilt busy with my law enforcement career. And I was a captain on the police department, so I was on call 365 days a year, 24/7. I didn't have time until I retired. So after 22 years with a gun and badge, that's when I finally had time to actually write.
So you couldn't say to a suspect, hold on, I've got a plot idea. Let me drop this down.
Repeat that statement again. I think I'll use it. Real quickly, is there another team effort in the works?
Oh, indeed. Yes, we got the outline done, and we're turning to that. Now, we write for other publishers as well.
Right.
But we're navigating that right now. So next year, maybe we'll come back and visit with that.
Yeah,
book, too.
you're certainly invited. And Isabel, you're always invited as well.
Thank you.
And must be exciting to have. I just think
fun.
just touching a book, you must be so excited to know you wrote that.
There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
It is.
All right, Isabella Maldonado and Jeffrey Deaver again. It's The Grave Artist, and it certainly starts with a wallop. Holy smokes. It's good to have you both here. Thank you so much for
Good
joining
to see
me.
you. Thank you.